that I might seek and find my God.
Welcome to Good Starts. This morning we're going to talk about one of the smallest members of our body and one of the most powerful members of our body, the tongue. We underestimate the power that it has in our lives sometimes, and Scripture has a lot to say about it, and has a lot to say about what it can do and what it can cause. One Scripture, not today's, is talking. It talks about how we'll be judged by every word that proceeds out of our mouth. It also says that life and death lies in the tongue. So we're going to talk a little bit today just about the power of the tongue and how it can be used to speak good and speak bad, and how it affects your spiritual walk. So today's scripture is going to be James chapter 3, verses 5 and 6. So the tongue also is a little member, but boasteth great things. Behold, how much wood is kindled by how a little fire, or how small a fire. The tongue is a fire. The world of iniquity among our members is the tongue, which defileth the whole body, and setteth on fire the wheel of nature, and is set on fire by hell. So, the first thing it comes out and says, that be careful of your tongue, because it likes to be prideful. So the tongue is also a little member, and boasteth great things. It boasts about things. The tongue can be very prideful. It can lead you to bragging about things that God doesn't approve of. Bragging of your own power, bragging of your own strength, instead of boasting on the Lord. Instead of boasting what the Lord is doing through you and for you. And it says, behold, how much wood is kindled by how small a fire. Anybody that's ever had a bonfire knows that it doesn't take much to get that fire going. A few small pieces of wood, and you've got a flame, and then you just stack everything on top of that, and then it burns. That's what the tongue can do. The tongue can start a small fire that end up in a blaze. Say gossip, or say just using a hateful word, can start a small flame enough to burn somebody inside out for a hatred for you. The tongue is fire. It can be used as a world of iniquity or a world of good. But most of the time our flesh rises up in us, and our tongue wants to speak bad. Our tongue wants to gossip. Our tongue wants to tell somebody what they feel. But that's when that spirit man has to rise up and tell our tongue to calm down. The world of sin and iniquity is in the tongue, and it defiles the whole body. Once again, Jesus said this before too. It's not what comes into your body that defiles it. It's what comes out of your body that defiles it, because out of the abundance of your heart, the tongue will speak. So if the abundance of your heart is sin, partying, whatever your abundance are, whatever is in your heart that fills your heart with joy, that's what your tongue will talk about. So if you're a sinful person, your tongue's going to talk about sinful things. If you're a righteous person and your mind's set on God and your heart is on God, then your tongue will speak about the things of God and the things of righteousness. It is in our nature to be sinful. It setteth on fire the wheel of nature. It is set on fire by hell. The tongue, the devil is described as a roaring lion that walks about seeking whom he can destroy. The tongue is part of that roaring. He's constantly lying. He's constantly pleading to the Father and accusing us of things that we're not doing and saying we're unworthy. And he's constantly reminding us of our past, constantly reminding us of the things we've done wrong. And is that really forgiven? But the tongue, our tongue, should be used for righteousness because it is a natural It's a natural thing for our tongue to want to speak bad, to want to speak sinful things. We have to flip that upside down and focus our mind on God so that our tongue speaks righteousness, that it speaks life and not death. So every time you feel that anger or whatever that is that your tongue wants to speak, every time you feel that start to rise up inside of you, I beg you to pray. Take a second and pray before you speak, because that second could cause your tongue to speak life or death. So I just hope that you get this scripture in your heart today, that your tongue is very powerful. I hope that if there's anything you get out of this today, I hope that you get out of it that you take a pause every day before you speak to somebody in the wrong way, and you ask God, how would you handle this? And that way you're not stepping out of the will of God by speaking death and not life. So today I want you to add on top of this yesterday's good starts. Find somebody to love on. Find somebody to bless. And if it's not monetary, if it's not with gifts or with some kind of physical thing, bless them with your tongue. Love them into the kingdom. I hope this encourages you. I hope you have a great day. God bless.